Have you seriously thought about trying to get a mail order bride from overseas in search of love and happiness? Have you tried all the dating sites here in America, if you're in the USA, and you're just not finding anybody and you're not connecting with anybody? Have you thought about the consequences of this big step that you may contemplate in taking? What is it about the fascination of foreign women? Like, is it just that they're so exotic? Like, you get most of these mail order brides either from Southeast Asia or from Eastern Europe. Most of them, I would probably say, probably do come from Southeast Asia, but then there's a big trend of Ukrainian girls that are girls that are wanting to get married and come to the States. What if I told you that I'm Ukrainian? Would you believe me? I actually am. I'm part Ukrainian, and my grandmother was from the Ukraine. I am definitely 100% American, but I have Ukrainian in me. So does that make me a hot commodity on the market? I don't know. You tell me. So let's say you go online to an international dating site and they cater to Ukrainian women and that want to hook up with American men, right? So you see a bunch of them, they're all young, they're hot, they're good looking, and you're really, really interested. But you would like to maybe get to know this girl more than just texting or sending emails, right? So you book a trip through this international dating agency. They say, oh no, you can go see these girls, come to we got a social if you fly into Ukraine, for $5,000. We'll set you up in a hotel. You'll be there with a bunch of other guys, that are looking for love. And we'll do a big social gathering. And, there's going to be plenty of booze and hot women. And, just bring yourself and see which one you like, right? And they're all on our dating site. So you might as well come over and check them out. So yeah, you're like, yeah, man, cool. So you get really excited and you drop $5,000 on a round trip plane ticket to cover this trip to go find your love. And you fly to Ukraine. And yeah, they're hot, man. I mean, you're in a room full of beautiful women and you're feeling like a kid in a candy store and you don't even know where to start. And you're thinking to yourself, I'm really overwhelmed, but I see this one girl that I'm really interested in, and that's the one I want to hook up with. That's the one I want to marry and call her my true love, right? So what do? You tell the head of the agency, you say, that's what I'm interested in. You talk to her with a translator. It seems like things are going really well. And then next thing you know, you're popping the engagement ring on her and you're getting ready to get married, right? Okay, so now you found the chick you want to be with. You have the immigration papers drawn up by the international agency. You fly back with her. You plan a big wedding, you get married, and things seem to be going okay. So far, so good, right? The sex is great. It seems like she's really in love with you. You're starting to really dig her vibes and be in love with her. But then all of a sudden, you start to feel something's not right. Like she's not really as into you as she was back in Ukraine when you met her at the social. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. What do you think's going through this girl's head that you just married? Okay, now, put yourself in this chick's shoes, all right? She is from Ukraine, okay? Now, grant you their way of living is not bad, but it's not the United States, right? So why would she want to leave her home country, leave her family, leave her friends, and travel halfway across the world to marry you, right? Why would she do that? There's only one reason, in my opinion, is that she's thinking that you're a rich American. You know, she's thinking in her mind, America, land of the free, everybody's rich in America, right? You're telling her before you married her and before you flew in that you got a house, you got a car, you got a good paying job, you can support her, you can raise a family, yada, yada, yada. So she's thinking in her mind, oh my gosh, Hollywood, he's got this two-story mansion, maybe somewhere out on the ocean, and he's got this expensive Mercedes or BMW that he's going to let me drive around in, and he's going to buy me furs and diamonds, and we're going to live happily ever after, right? I'm going to have babies with this man, and I'm going to become a U.S. citizen. Then she gets to where you live. Now, let me tell you something. If you live in a dirt water town, okay, you may have a, you know, what they consider a middle class kind of home. Like you got a nice little brick home, right? But it sure as hell ain't 2 stories. And you got a vehicle, but it's 10 years old. Could be an old pickup truck, right? And you got a job, but you're maybe making $50,000 a year. So you're not a rich American, right? You're not the vision that she had in her mind, okay, when she agreed to marry you. So, and even if you showed her pictures before you married her and she thought, well, you know, but maybe he lives in a really nice area and we can upgrade to a new home or something. You don't know what's going through her mind. And her parents are like, yeah, yeah, do it. Marry this rich dude, you know, get over to the United States, have kids with him. And now we got natural born citizenship there, right? Get over there and do it. So, okay, she gets to your hometown. She's introduced to your family. You have a small network of friends. And let's face it, if she's hot and there ain't that many chicks in your hometown, you better watch your back because a lot of your friends are probably going to want to screw her, okay? That's another problem. That's another thing to think about. She's not all yours. And there's going to be a lot of dudes in your social network that's going to want to screw her behind your back while you're at work and she's at home. Think about that. But let's say she is loyal and she doesn't do that. Well, now she sees you've taken her around your town and it's just a dirt water town. There's really nothing to do but maybe go shooting, maybe go fishing. The closest Walmart is like 50 miles away. And she starts to get depressed. You know, she's thinking in her mind, what the hell is this? This is not what I signed up for. This is not my American dream. I thought this guy had more money. I thought where he lived was more exciting. I'm bored. I'm bored out of my mind. I don't like this town. I miss my home country. I miss my family. And I got to get out of here. So what does she do? She's going to find a way to divorce your ass. That's what she's going to do. Because now she's waited long enough to get her green citizenship card or whatever you call it, but she's now a U.S. citizen because she's married to you, thanks to you. Now, if she is deciding to stick it out a little bit longer, she may be smart enough to think, American, I could have a baby or 2 with this guy and actually collect child support from him. So maybe I'll stick around, you know, play it out, have a couple kids, and then I'll divorce him. And then I'll collect child support while I'm still in the States with these kids. And then I can upgrade and move to another state within the United States and find me a richer guy. guy that actually does have some bread to support me and my kids on your dime. This is what you got to think about. It can happen to you. Now, I'm not saying that there is no possibility of true love, because I'm sure there's plenty of mail order bride marriages that have worked, okay? But then there's plenty of them that haven't. So you got to be careful. You got to weigh out the circumstances and the possible situations that could happen after you marry this girl and you put out all this money, and what will happen. And then what if you do all this and you end up divorced from this chick 2 years later, maybe earlier, and she's gone? And you're right back to square one, but you're more broke than you were before. Are you going to do it again? Or are you just going to say, screw it, I'm going to stay single for the rest of my life? Tell me what you think. I mean, are you a husband to a mail order bride? Has it worked for you? Drop me a line, I'd like to know. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. All helps the algorithm of this video. I appreciate you always. Until next week, more food for thought.